Hi there. Here we go on another Skip versus Ernestine. This is round 74. This is a show that's just different.
We are different.
As you're about to see. She is she, I am he, and she over here
She's down
is
there
the star
somewhere.
of this show, little Hazel. She's being a good girl for the moment, sitting next to her
Right.
dad, and she's just being Hazel.
She's just her.
We are about to get to your questions and your comments, which are the lifeblood of this show, pro or con. We love them all.
We do.
And yet we start with a couple of your comments from YouTube. This is Tojo262 who says, Ernestine, your hair looks really nice.
Thank you.
Oh, it always does.
I just went to the hair guy.
She just went to the hair guy, so she makes sure her
It's
hair
extra
looks
nice.
nice. I'm hiding mine under my hat.
Thank you. Takes a village.
It does. And this is from SStorm24. This is great. Thanks for sharing this casual, intimate, laid-back moment from your life. Skip is a legend. I appreciate that very much.
Legend.
And it is nice to see him from a different angle. Like over
That is
here
true.
or over here.
That is true.
I'm about to be very different.
Well, that's
in this
why
show.
we were doing this.
And this is an Instagram comment from Dre, the BX Giant. It's a giant-sized comment. The Wire's got to be on that list, Skip. We did a list of the best series ever because we're
That's
pushing
true.
for Your Friends and Neighbors. It's just taken over our lives, season 2. And I did list all the great series, and I did say The Wire, even though I don't know how we missed it, but we weren't together yet. When
I didn't know
there
you.
was
I
The
did
Wire.
watch it. I thought it was good.
Oh, you watched
I
it?
watched
Okay.
it.
I don't
thought
know
it was
how.
good.
I was just absorbed with my early TV career, and I just maybe was it on Sunday night? I could have watched it.
It was on Sunday.
But whatever.
It was
But
good.
I mentioned it. I did, and this is from @nail12919. Bond is 35 in books, in the original books,
Yeah.
obviously. Elba is 53 years old, maybe in 2006. So
No,
we
I don't
made the
agree.
case last week that Idris Elba should have gotten a shot at Bond, and he was reportedly a candidate.
Yeah, I think
And then I don't know what happened.
I
He
have
didn't
no
make the
problem
cut.
with him at 53 being Bond.
Yeah, we had several other comments from people saying, well, you have to give Bond each generation to have a Bond, and you need a younger.
Yeah, but Bond to me, was never young.
Yeah, I understand that.
Bond always looked older to me. Sean
Yeah.
Connery always looked older.
If you watch Dr.
Roger
No,
Moore.
yeah, the original Dr. No, the first one, what a stud was Sean Connery in that. But,
Yeah.
but he was
They never looked like they were 20,
35.
35.
Okay, so I
And
did.
then he was 53 in the last one.
He was 53 in the Never Say Never Again when they tried one more time, which was a bad idea, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan wasn't 20-something when he did it.
No.
Neither was Timothy Dalton.
No.
They always looked older. But I think Idris could do it right this moment.
He's
and
just-
he would kick
look,
ass.
Idris
Keanu
Elba
Reeves
has
would kick ass.
presence. He has physicality presence to him where he just takes over the screen
Yeah.
with his
Even in
with
Hijacked,
his
or whatever
sheer
that movie
stature.
was that he
Yeah,
did.
he
That
did
series
Hijacked
was great.
and Hijacked, yeah.
He could kick
And-
ass.
At 53, he can kick ass.
Oh,
And if
God,
he were
without a
James
doubt.
Bond, he could kick ass.
Yeah.
Remember, you don't want Bond to be a shooter. You want him to be hand to hand because he
Yeah, and
doesn't
he's also
shoot many
smart
people.
and debonair and
Yeah.
sexy and dangerous and all of
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah, but
I don't want some 20-year-old kid playing Bond.
I mean, unless he can fill the screen
No, what
with
do-
his stature,
What?
you know.
I don't know any
Hazel's
20-year-old
so bored,
actor
she's
that could
digging
play
over
Bond
here.
right
Yeah.
now.
She's
Timothy
not digging
Chalamet
what
is
we're
not.
talking about.
Timothy
Well,
Chalamet
he
is not
can't play
playing Bond.
I mean, he's wimpy.
Well,
he's skinny,
I don't even
wimpy,
care if he put on 10 pounds.
unphysical, you
He's
know.
not going to play Bond.
No, but again, there would be some younger studs who could play Bond, and I'm sure they would be very good. And I do
Jake
appreciate.
Gyllenhaal could play Bond.
Yeah, we're about to talk about Jake
Yeah.
Gyllenhaal and his latest, but
The Hemsworth brother could
he
definitely
could
be
definitely
Bond.
play Bond. He could
Chris.
definitely, more even than Gyllenhaal.
Oh, without a doubt. Chris Hemsworth could be Bond today.
Yeah, agreed.
But we're not the broccoli family.
Okay, before we get to more of your questions and comments, Hazel is digging to my
It's
left.
okay. She
She's
can dig.
out of her mind. I don't know if we say, Hazel, are you digging to China? Where
likes
are you
to
digging
dig.
to? She likes to
A
dig.
lot of dogs like to dig.
Yeah, but they don't dig on the couch
I
and
think
just
they
keep
do
digging
dig.
on the couch. She digs on the bed.
I'm sure people out there watching have the same exact
When she has
thing.
any
Just dig.
nervous energy, she just digs. Now she's jumped off the couch.
Go in your bed,
She's
Hazel.
thinking
That's a
about
good-
going into her bed that is sitting to her left.
Whatever.
But she does have a mind of her own, as this one definitely has a mind of her own.
Thank you. I should.
Like
I'm a human
mother,
being.
like daughter,
Well, please.
right?
I do
There's a
have
thing over here that she,
one up on
a
Hazel.
gift that we got.
No,
from
I
her
bought it.
groomer.
I
Oh,
bought
I thought
it.
it was
It's
a
a
gift from the
lobster,
groomer.
and
It's a
it's-
lobster that
she-
you can go inside the giant
doesn't like to
lobster's
go in it
mouth, and
except
she
when we're
sniffs
doing
in
this
it. Now she's making
podcast.
trouble. She's Dennis. the
Anyway,
Menace.
enough of Hazel. Back to the original script.
Okay, so the talk of the weekend, the outrage of the weekend, the controversy of the weekend centered around President Trump versus Christian Welker, the Meet the Press moderator, I guess she is, journalist, yes. And obviously, she set up an interview with Donald Trump. Okay, here comes Hazel again.
Okay, here.
She set up an interview and she flew to Wisconsin. He was speaking to the farmers in Wisconsin, and they decided to do it in like a barn or a hangar or something that had tractors in it. And it was thundering, lightning, raining through the whole interview. And 50 minutes into the interview, so that's 50 minutes worth of interview, which is, it's a long time. I would think he would just say, I'll give you 20 minutes.
Well, let's
right?
just break for a second. His ratings are going down
Okay.
so badly that
All
he's
right.
doing anything and everything he can to
You
be
can
out
make
there
that
in the
case.
public eye. That's the truth. So
Okay,
he
so
doesn't care if it's 2 hours.
She's asking about the California elections. We live out here in Los Angeles. We got the mayoral race and the gubernatorial race going on. And he goes off. And he had sort of bitten his tongue to this point, and he says, you know, these elections are rigged. You play right into their hands with this stuff. The U.S. is a third world country when it comes to elections. He did win 2 of them.
Well, except for the one
Right.
that he lost, and he
Exactly.
refuses to accept the fact that he lost and says that everybody
He
cheated.
continues,
but that's okay.
your elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked, and then he says everybody is crooked, all the networks
Everybody's
are
crooked,
crooked.
yeah.
You're a one-sided crooked network. Let's call it quits because I've had enough. Thank you, darling. He said, thank you, darling. Little old-timey
Condescending.
sexist,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Have a good time, he says, and he takes off his microphone, and I think he dropped it on the floor, and he didn't mean to, but it was like the classic Trump exit. He stepped on it, and it sounded like it crushed the microphone. And she says, but Mr. President, I traveled all the way to Wisconsin. Well,
He don't
this
care.
is just me. Nobody cares that you traveled to Wisconsin. Who wouldn't travel to Wisconsin for a sit down with the President of the United States that would go for 50 minutes? No, nobody would, you know, who
Well,
wouldn't do that?
She's
Who-
met him before, so I'm
Okay.
sure she.
and it sounds like they still have a decent sort of working relationship because she said that they subsequently had a phone conversation and that he agreed to reconvene and they're going to do another interview. Whatever. But he did say at one point, this is where I took exception. He did say at one point, you can't have a great country without honest media. No, that's what makes America greatest is freedom of speech.
How
So,
about an honest president? That would make a great country.
okay, so you're saying he's dishonest?
Well, do you remember what happened on January 6th, or do you think
Yeah.
that just came out of the
I
blue?
don't know. I hear you.
I mean,
I don't know
but
what to make of
seriously,
all that.
When he
I don't
lost the
know.
election,
Yeah.
he blamed it on the Democrats or just counting dead people. I mean, it's insanity. So let's talk about it. It's
Okay.
just whatever.
I understand the point that he thinks they're all dishonest because they're all out to get him, but he should be so much bigger than that.
But he's not.
And he is the leader of the free world.
He doesn't care. He's a TV
the
star that
leader-
happened to fall into becoming the president.
Yeah.
He's on The Apprentice. That's why most of these people voted for him, because they liked him on The Apprentice. They did not see the difference between that's a TV
Okay.
show.
All right.
So, whatever.
Okay, I get you. I still like some of the very decisive
You can like what
decisions
you want.
that he's made, and I like him more than I like Joe Biden, who just teetered along and let us get run over by the rest of the world, including our borders run
But
over.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean, because you may not like Joe Biden, but that doesn't mean that you have to accept somebody like him, because there's nobody else.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I believe in shutting Iran down before they nuclear bomb
right, but that's not just the only thing he's
Israel.
doing.
That's just me.
It's
So he's still battling with them. I need your uranium, and they're saying no. And so he says, okay, we'll have to come and take it from you. Because if you don't take their uranium, they're still going to have nuclear capability. And in the end, I don't know how you stop that.
I don't know, but that's his job to figure out. That's why he's the president. He should worry about that rather than Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert.
No, I
He's
would
got
agree
bigger
with that.
fish to fry.
But the irony is you can't have a great country without honest media. But he wants
Honest
the
media, as long as they like him.
he wants them all to like him.
Right, that's
Right.
corrupt media. So then,
Yes. But the media is very one-sided for the most part against him, right?
I don't know. I mean, there are
it
some
seems like-
media people that I guess like him,
Yeah.
but it's not going to change. It's who he is. So that's the
But
agenda.
remember the line that he used, I can't remember if he said king or dictator, but in a previous interview, I brought it up on the show, where somebody said, brought up the idea of you're being accused of being a king or a dictator, and he said, if I were king, I wouldn't be doing this interview. That is a fact, because he wouldn't need to do the interview, because the king would rule the country and would never speak to the media about anything that ever
I
happened.
think he would still speak to media. He's an ego.
Okay,
maniac, so.
but in England, the king or queen does not speak to the media. It's left to the prime minister to do that, right? Or
Well, but
the other
sometimes
heads
they
of
do
state.
give interviews.
I don't remember one. Maybe rarely. They've
Prince
spoken
Charles.
publicly. They're not going to sit down and let the press question them.
No, but it's a whole different game over there than it is here.
Mm-hmm. But-
They have more respect.
But I did appreciate the fact he gave her 50 minutes is a long interview to me. I do interviews for a living, and when we have anybody on my new show, Arena Gridiron, we're like, can you stay for
Right, but he wants
20
the
minutes
press.
or
We're talking
15
about
minutes?
somebody who seeks attention 24/7. So an hour to
No,
him
but
is
he's
not
got
a
his
lot.
own media. He can do.
Well, he can
he can
tweet
do
what he
Fox,
wants. That's
he
what
can
he does.
do
Tweets.
Fox
Yeah. So,
News.
well, this is a big
He can
stage.
do
Kristen Welker is a
sympathetic-
big. Meet
Yeah.
the Press is big. It's not like it's
I
some
understand.
little cable station in somewhere.
Okay.
You know.
But
He needs the people.
okay, obviously he has an old school streak in him that is looking down on the female interviewer, calls her darling, and yet I was somewhat impressed that he hung with her for 50 minutes as they kept getting interrupted by thunder and lightning and rain on the roof. But the point was, if she keeps pecking away and tough question, and it's all tough questions, after a while, he is going to crack.
Well,
And he
that's the whole deal. If when you grant an interview, this is what your journalist is going to ask you if you're the president of the United States.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I don't feel bad for him.
I don't feel bad for him.
I don't feel like,
But I was
sorry,
surprised
it's
he
an hour.
lasted as long with her as he did, because even though she was asking nicely, if you will, her questions were the same old, bam, bam, bam questions right down the line. And I think he was answering as best he could answer until finally she pushed the wrong button.
Well, people
which
want
is
to hear
California
answers that
elections.
he always skirts around. So
Yeah.
she has to ask the same questions that nobody gets answers to.
Yeah.
So
I guess they're going to do it again.
well,
You got to give him some credit
and
for saying,
see.
okay, I'll do it again.
He needs the attention. He wants the people to see him. He's losing, going
Okay.
down.
Well, it's 2 terms.
And it's over. The fat lady's saying there's
Well,
no way there's going to be a 3rd term. So
he's talked about trying to change the law for a 3rd term.
Anyway,
So before we also get to your questions, another thing that pushed my button was Sean Penn talking about his social discomfort, that he did not, he will no longer attend any award ceremonies, awards nights, such as the Academy Awards, which he won.
he's won 3 times.
Yeah, he's won 3 times, but he won, and he wasn't there. And he says it's because he will not join, he will not be part of a group that is more than 8 people at
Right.
a time. He says it's better for my mental health not to be out among them. And then he talked about how people should never do selfies with anyone else. It's bad for you, he said. It's a soul sucker. And as an example, he said it's the Holocaust grandmother with her 6-year-old paraplegic wheeling over. It's a hard no.
I
What?
don't even understand any of that.
You know, this is just me.
Yeah.
Sean Penn's another Hollywood baby, born out here in Santa Monica. His father was a director. His mother was in show business. And father Jewish, mother Catholic, and he raised in Malibu. And his best friends as he was growing up were Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez. And you know, that whole household with
Right.
Martin Sheen. And so he grows up with those kids.
Yeah.
And they're just spoiled rotten. And then Sean Penn is a talented guy, but although he's 65 and he looks to me like 85.
Yeah, but he became he became a star as a teenager.
As a teenager, Spicoli, wasn't it, in Fast Times at Ridgemont
Yeah.
High? And once he broke through, he's been very blessed. I know he's done some dogs and whatnot, but he's won Academy Awards for Milk
Oh, he's so talented.
and Mystic River.
He's very talented.
Yeah, he's very talented, and now it's one battle after another, and he just happened to be in the right place at the very rightest time. And I didn't love the movie. I had a hard time. In fact, I didn't finish it. You wouldn't watch
I
it.
didn't have any desire.
But it's a hot director, and it was a raw, tough, down and dirty part that he played. And it's ironic, he played sort of a commanding officer, a military man that he would hate the most. And so he said he spent his time during the Academy Awards, he was in Ukraine trying to help people out there. Well, the ultimate
Great.
social service to me would be taking a selfie with the Holocaust grandmother and the paraplegic kid, right? That would be giving back.
You know, listen to me. I don't understand celebrities, and I've worked with a ton of them,
She has.
and I know a bunch of them.
And I've
but-
known a whole
and
bunch.
You have your own celebrity stuff, but I don't get when people they say, oh, I don't do celebrity, I don't do that. And I don't mean that cliche of people say, I made you who you are, but there is an ownness to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe if you're eating and you're about to put the fork to your mouth and you could just say, hey, could you, or whatever. And there are a lot of celebrities that say, I don't sign autographs, but I'll talk to you and you can remember that for the rest of your life, that I talked to you that moment. But you can't treat people like that. And just because somebody wants to say hi or wants to take a picture, I find it offensive when someone is so dismissive, and people go to see you. And I know that there's 2 separate lives. One is the fake life, the TV, movie world, and then there's your real life. But you can't treat people that way. You have a responsibility. That's why old Hollywood, they were brought up in a system that they were trained how to be movie stars. And you have to be a movie star. When you walk outside that door, you're still a movie star.
Yeah.
And you have a responsibility to people.
You just
because
do.
you have, and someone who I dated who was a very famous singer, actor, would say to me, when somebody comes up to you and they say to you, oh, I know you've heard it before or whatever, but that person is going to remember for the rest of their life the moment they met you. And even though it's the same question they're asking you or they're saying the same thing to you, they never said it to you before. And that is going to that's going to stay with them forever. And that's what you have to think about. You leave a mark on somebody when, you know, I remember when I met Al Pacino, it will stay with me for the rest of my life. When I got an autograph from my friend Carol and I gave him a shirt after he was on off Broadway. I remember that forever. He will never even remember that he did it, but to me, and that's what stays with you. You can't treat people like that. It's my 2 cents.
Well, on my little celebrity level, we do take Hazel to the nearby mall.
We walk around all over the place,
Yeah.
not just the mall. We do go other places. Beverly Hills, we go places, walk around. So
But
people
especially
recognize
at the
you.
mall, people here and there, it depends if I put my sunglasses on or not, recognize me. And last Saturday we went. It's not the usual mall. It's just beautiful.
It's a nice
open
mall.
air.
Yeah, it
it's
is.
outside.
It's a great mall.
And
People are around, but
Saturday
yeah.
is
There's a lot of people around with kids and animals.
it's a
and
pet
just, you know,
celebration because it's a parade. It's a dog parade and a kid parade. And so we have a table that we go to, and it's almost like our little picnic,
yeah,
right?
it's just a little
We get
out
our
of the way
little
table.
things.
We
It's
get
just
our
something we do every Saturday because we enjoy our little Hazel. She doesn't get out much, and she's not very sociable, but she does enjoy people watching. I think because she's the reincarnation of their mom,
probably.
Evelyn.
That's true.
And Evelyn loved to watch people, and so Hazel could sit out there for hours
Yeah,
just
she likes
watching the
it.
parade go by,
Likes
as long as
people.
they don't come too close to
Right.
her, because then she will go into attack mode. But the point is that we saw, I don't know, 4 different
Yeah.
groups of people came over and wanted to talk, and then she always says, "You want a picture?" Great.
Well,
And
because
we
people
took
are
pictures. I
sometimes
know, I
shy and
understand.
embarrassed
No,
to ask
I
for a
got it.
picture, but I find it.
But we
You
had
know.
conversations with all 4 of these. Sometimes it was
Husband and
it was
wife,
2 husband
guy
and
by
wives,
himself.
guy by himself,
Yeah.
and another guy by himself, and we're going down the
Yeah.
escalator.
Yeah.
And you know,
It doesn't take that much
it's
for you to just
part-
turn around and say,
it's
"Hey."
part of the deal
It is.
that you talk to them and you give back something because they gave you their time.
And they're saying how much they enjoy watching you
Yeah.
and whatever it is. It's just really cruel to be, "Oh, please don't come near me. I'm too above this."
And we took selfies.
Yeah, so
And-
what?
They weren't selfies. They were
No, you took a
your
picture
pictures.
of them,
We
yeah.
took pictures.
And then they'll have them, and then they could show it to their friends, and they send it to their family. Look who I ran into.
And
Big deal.
I
2 minutes
find-
out of your life.
I find that I have really good conversations
Yeah,
with these people.
people
And
are nice.
If we're in a restaurant, it sometimes bothers you a little bit that we have to just
Doesn't
interrupt.
bother me.
Okay.
Bothers you more than it bothers me.
But you just do it because it's part of the gig, and they got you to where you were.
They're watching your show. That's
They are.
keeping your show on wherever
true.
it is. Whatever movie is going, it's keeping the movie on, you know.
That is the point.
It's ratings.
Yeah. So speaking of movies, I remember, as I was pointing out to you, where I saw every movie I
Oh, I
ever
know
saw,
you
and with
remember
whom.
everything since you're 1 year old.
Since I
know.
was 1 year old. So Milk, I immediately, because he won.
Didn't
for
I see
Milk.
that with you?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that
Do
with
you
you.
remember where?
New Orleans?
No, good
I
guess.
don't-
It was a good guess.
Palm Springs?
No,
Vegas?
no,
42nd Street?
no.
I
Mm-mm.
don't know. I give up.
We went to ESPN
The weekend, Orlando.
in Orlando, Florida,
yeah.
and you could walk across the
The
bridge
bridge, and they
into the
had
little
that.
city.
That's where we
they
saw
had.
that Le Cirque Love.
And we
Did we see
did.
that?
We
Le
went to
Cirque
Le
Love?
Cirque. We did. But they also had
The movie theater.
movie theaters.
It was nice.
Right? Nice.
Yeah, it was a nice
Yeah,
movie
multiplex.
theater. Yeah,
And one Saturday night, we saw
Yeah.
Milk there.
that was a good movie.
Yeah.
Very
We
upsetting,
also
but it
saw
was
the
good.
DiCaprio movie that was really weird, and I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I
Where,
remember that.
where he's in his own mind, and
I don't remember
it's all a
that.
figment of his imagination. It's weird.
But I do like Sean Penn, so
You do like Sean
I do.
Penn.
I like him, and I like Charlie Sheen a whole lot.
Yeah. Mystic River, which he also won for. Oh, he was supporting in one battle. Yeah. The other 2 were best
Yeah.
actor. Yeah. But you didn't see Mystic River.
No.
I saw it before you.
Too upsetting.
Yes. Okay, got it. This is from Aubrey from Houston, Texas. After the firing of Scott Pelley, it got me wondering, is 60 Minutes even still relevant? Would love to hear your thoughts on this.
I love 60 Minutes. I think it's very relevant. And I think, unfortunately, Anderson Cooper was such a major part of that. I didn't think about it when he left 2 weeks ago, and he said he wanted to spend time with his kids, and he doesn't have time to do that. And he also does CNN News. But then after that, the writing was on the wall when Barry Weiss came in and CBS and the whole nightmare that's taking place. But I think that there is a place for a news format show like that.
Yeah.
Because that's why I love CBS Sunday mornings. It's an amazing
I know, but as
another
much as you
piece.
like 60 Minutes,
Yeah.
I don't remember you saying that's appointment television.
I grew up watching 60
Okay,
Minutes.
you grew up, but I'm saying
I
since
still
I've
watch
been
it.
with
I
you,
still
okay,
watch
don't
it.
know
I
that
still
you
have
do.
taped it. Yeah, I taped them.
Okay.
And I watch because they have really good interviews
Yeah.
that you're not going to see anywhere else. Good topics that they're going to cover that you're not going to see anywhere else. Plus, they're also going to cover what's happening in the world. And it's different than watching a regular local news
Yeah.
or a Nightline. It's just, and back in the day, and still came forward, Andy Rooney, there were people that were amazing journalists. Leslie Stahl is one of the last holdouts. She's one of 3 that are left, and now it's up in the air. What's going to happen? Are they just going to fold it and disband it? It's just a very sad state, and I think Scott Pelley did the right thing by speaking out, and it cost him his job, but I don't think he wanted to stay there anymore.
It sounded like his job was already.
Yeah, he didn't care. After a while, it's like,
jeopardy.
why are you doing this to what was amazing? But that's what happens. You bring in one person
Yeah.
who just wants to leave their mark and their stamp and change things, and it's not always for the better. And then in hindsight, they say, oh, maybe we shouldn't have done that with that person.
Mm.
It's what happens.
I know network politics. That's what happens.
Yeah, it is. It's what happens. It's the ruination of what has happened to most of our
Yeah.
shows.
I respect 60 Minutes, but it was not ever appointment viewing for me. I would see the clips more than I would ever see the show. And I did think that some of these journalists became very self-important, like they viewed themselves as stars and opinion makers, where they make your opinion for you. And over time, they got pretty full of themselves.
I don't
feel
know. And you have Ed Bradley, and you have Major Mike Wallace, and you
Yeah.
have these seasoned journalists. Anderson Cooper, who, when they showed the clip of when he was leaving, of all of the amazing stories he has done all over the world, and took you to places that you would never even see. That's what it's all about. Is you're watching this to expand your horizon and see stories that you will
Yeah,
not
no, I
see
understand.
anywhere else.
No, I got it. And I do have high regard for them. I saw where Bill Maher said he just wasn't a big fan of Scott Pelley's, so he was like, who cares?
Well, Bill Maher isn't a fan of a lot of people,
Yeah, that's true.
so
But
there's a lot of people that aren't a big fan of Bill Maher.
that's a fact. But in the end, maybe it's sad that the latest generations, the last 2 generations, I don't think they're big fans of 60 Minutes.
They don't even know what 60 Minutes is. It's unfortunate that I watched a piece on GMA, and the Today Show last week did something similar, that this is news that Gen Zs and Gen Xers are actually going to a mall because now they're learning about shopping away from online, that they want to go to a mall and they want to feel merchandise. Like this was a new awakening.
I know, but we walked past shop after shop on Saturday at this high-end mall.
The stores are dead.
And they're just dead.
Right, so
where
now-
there are 2 people working in the store, and they're just kind of watching their
But
TVs
now
on the
they're
wall.
saying this new generation, that's what's going to be bringing traffic back to the malls.
Okay.
So it's the same thing with shows. You have to teach people.
Yeah. No, I got it. It is now time for Skip and Ernestine go to the movies on this couch, and we have absorbed a couple of things of late. because your sister Joyce was watching the new movie with, what's his name?
Bob Odenkirk.
Bob Odenkirk, called
She loves
Normal.
Bob Odenkirk. Well, we like the
And
other
we
ones.
love the Nobodies.
They
we
were
love
great.
both of them, but especially the first Nobody
the first one was
knocked
the
me
best.
off this couch because I wasn't quite ready for that.
He was so good in that.
And he does play a version of Nobody in this new movie called Normal, which we then, because Joyce said she loved it, we said, okay. And I told you to tell Joyce it's on her
Right.
whether we're going to like it. And we had to pay
$20.
$20 to watch. And here we went, and I was very surprised. In
was
some ways,
good.
I was knocked off the couch because I wasn't ready for him to play a very small town sheriff, interim sheriff,
Yeah.
who's like the Nobody character, except he's not as physical. He's not an assassin by trade.
No.
So he's a tough guy, and he can shoot, and he can fight to some degree.
And he's smart.
But he's not a gifted fighter.
No, but he's
The
very
way
smart.
The Nobody was.
Yeah. He could see what's happening. He gets the picture.
Shrewd operator,
Yeah.
perceptive, tough. Felt like he hadn't taken stands before in his career, which is why he's interim. And yet, in this little town of Normal, Minnesota,
Yeah.
the plot is pretty wacky, involving the Japanese mob and their tie to this town.
But it's
and
good.
it just goes completely off the rails in a great
Crazy.
way.
Yeah, it's great. He is
Where
so good.
There's a turning point scene where their bank is being robbed,
Uh-huh.
and Odenkirk goes to try to break it up, and realizes that the cops are actually shooting at him as he goes through the door of the
His
bank.
partner.
His partners are both shooting
Yeah.
at him. And now we're off to the races
It's
and
so
off the
good.
rails. And I must say, the final shootout is, and I wasn't ready for this, it's hilarious. And I was laughing out loud because you're supposed to. So it's what they call sort of black
It's like
comedy.
a black. It's kind
Yeah.
of like, what's his name, Rodriguez.
It's some of that. It is some of that.
Can't think of his first name, but
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. All
the mariachi
yes,
movies.
El Mariachi.
Yeah, El
yes.
Mariachi. It's
And
like
the
that.
vampire,
Yeah,
the all-night vampire.
yeah, that was good with Cynthia Erivo.
Yes. And with this one,
It's over the top,
It-
crazy.
the
But
final
good.
shootout has big laugh out louds all through it.
And it's bloody though.
And
I
yet,
hid my eyes a lot.
I wasn't ready to laugh out loud. I just found
Yeah,
myself
you were
laughing out
laughing out
loud,
loud.
and then I finally turned to her, she's not watching, and I said, "It's a comedy.
Right, it is.
It's a comedy of
Even
errors."
Joyce said it, because Joyce said, even though it was bloody, Joyce said it was kind of cartoony.
But it's funny
Yeah.
cartoony. It's
Yeah.
not like silly cartoony. It's funny.
It's funny.
It's inspired, and I highly recommend the whole final shootout.
It's really good.
And it's feel
worth
good in the
$20,
end,
yeah.
and the right people get away, and
It's got a happy ending.
it has
Good.
a happy ending.
And he's great.
And I'm a 2 thumbs up for this
Yeah,
one.
Bob Odenkirk, so good.
This little guy who's not ripped or big or
No, he's
muscular.
just average.
That's his whole shtick. Wasn't he a writer on Saturday Night
Yeah.
Live for a while? So he's just some little nerdy kind of writer who found that he could play this character, but he pulls it off.
He played it better than Liam Neeson could play it any day, I think.
Yeah. I don't know if Liam Neeson could have gotten the comedy right,
No,
the sarcasm
Because
right.
he can.
Yeah. I mean, Liam Neeson's like too good for that, right?
Well, he doesn't have much of a comedic edge to him.
No.
I mean, even
He
in
tried.
that movie,
Good
Naked Gun
Lord.
remake,
He
was
tried to do it.
more.
Just
That was
terrible.
more
He doesn't
depressing
have
watching
that. He didn't have that.
Bob
gear.
Odenkirk has it.
Yeah. So then, the next date night, Saturday night, I guess, and we started watching the latest from Guy Ritchie, which when I saw the previews and sort of the publicity for it, it came across that it was kind of like jokey, crazy, and it's not. But because
It's
we
so
we
good.
started watching it, it's legit.
You have to like Guy Ritchie stuff.
It's not.
The Gentleman.
You do. Well, here's the problem with In the Gray is the title. It's the worst Guy
Yeah, it's
Ritchie
not a good
title
title.
ever, because if you think of Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, okay, I got that. Snatch, I got
Right.
that, and we can just keep on keeping
Yeah.
on with all the Gentleman, and which is like sarcastic.
That was great. The
Yeah.
Gentleman movie was great, and the series was great.
Yeah. And
And this is along those lines.
yeah. So the beauty of this plot, and I'm not saying this is a great movie, but
it's
it's very well
entertaining.
done for what it was in this genre.
You know, it's kind of Sherlock Holmes that he just did. It's got that same fast pace.
Yeah, it's that. He just did the Sherlock Holmes series, and he wrote this and directed
Yeah.
it. And Gyllenhaal's he's
Yeah, Jake
very good at
Gyllenhaal
this, and
and Henry
they've worked Cavill.
who
Right.
was Superman.
He was Superman, but they're a really good duo together,
Yeah,
and they
they're
play
good.
off each other. And this is not a spoiler alert. The premise is, I don't even understand what they're trying to pull off.
I don't know, they
It's
have
like
something,
mind
but
blowing.
you don't even have to worry about that. It's got so much action. You just go with the flow.
Yeah, and what's
It's very
her name?
highly stylized. Gonzalez.
Yeah, I can't say her first name.
I don't know if it's Liza or whatever.
No, it's E.I. But whatever. She's very good, but they're better. And,
Oh, they're so good together.
and she plays a con artist.
Rosamund
Pike is her
in it,
boss, and she's sort of.
who's good.
It's very difficult to understand or explain, and it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter, because I
But-
never figured out what they were really going after.
They're kind of
But
con
they were just
artists,
con
but
people.
her team features these two and 4 or 5 other guys.
In an
And
exotic
so
location.
They know that at some point, because they're trying to bilk a billionaire who's a gangster
Who is Javier Bardem's brother.
and he basically owns and operates an entire island, and you never
Yeah.
know exactly where it is, but he's got his own army on the island,
Right.
and they realize that to bilk him, in the end, it's going to require her being captured by him and them extracting her. So
Right.
they go through this elaborate plan that is preposterous. How they would go on his island.
You don't even
Okay.
kind of dismisses it after a while.
Okay.
You just go with
You
it.
you have to go with it, but it carefully walks you through all of their plotting to extract her, and you're knowing full well there are going to be curveballs thrown to you by the army there, because some things aren't going to go
Yeah.
quite as planned, and they don't. Some things do, but once you know what their plan is and how complex it is, then as it unfolds in real time, you're really into it, because you're on the inside of what they're going to try to pull off.
Gyllenhaal is great, and so
he's
is
great.
Henry.
Yeah, they're very
They really
good.
make it work.
They're tough guys, but they're smart, tough guys, and they're a dynamic duo.
They're great actors.
Yeah,
together.
and they can be sarcastic each other on their radio contact, but they pull it off.
It is
And
highly
it's
entertaining.
really well done, and I enjoyed it as much as I did Lock, Stock, and
Oh,
Two
yeah,
Smoking
it was
Barrels, or
great.
any of the things that he has done.
I just love Guy Ritchie.
Everything is outsized. Everything is. It's almost.
It's over the top.
It's almost like gangster fairy tale, because that can't happen and that can't happen, and of course they're shot at 9 billion times
Right.
by machine guns.
But you go with it, and everything. The clothes are amazing.
don't get it.
Everything is.
Okay, it's
Stylized.
just hyper stylized, and it's fun to watch because it's creation. You know, where you created this thing that nobody else can create, and so we appreciated it, and I was surprised she hung with it.
I loved it.
Yeah, there were
But
a
it
couple
was
times
really-
I thought you were fading off, but
No, I
you
really
hung in
liked
there.
it.
She actually really liked it, which brings me to one thing that I did watch.
Wait, did we talk about Friends and Neighbors the last episode?
I mentioned it. That
Oh.
I didn't know if we wanted to delve,
Oh,
but
well, we're not going to give it away.
no,
but we did watch the last episode.
They brought it home, and it's the James Marsden season 2,
You have to watch it.
and it's just great. I was making a case. It was the best season of the series I've ever watched on writing, acting, plot twists.
It was good.
It's just very well done. But as a writer myself, I really appreciated the speeches given.
It was really good.
And he gave a great speech to a friend of his who's having an affair with the lawyer.
Yeah.
And
John Hamm.
Yeah, John Hamm. I'm sorry. John Hamm gives a speech, and it's at Father's Day celebration, right?
Yeah.
And he just nails him, just puts him in his place. And John Hamm's a runaround and has slept with half the county, right? Mm-hmm. It's like in Westchester, outside of New York City, and the speech was just so well written about. It's going to run its course, and then it's going to blow up, because right now it's very sexy to be sneaking around, outside of your marriage. And he's like, okay, just divorce your wife.
Right.
If it's ended, you need to go divorce her, and then she needs to divorce her husband, and then you can try it. But he warned the guy, it won't be the same after you get married, right? Okay. So it was just, it's deep. It's
very real.
It's delving into reality, what's really interpersonal relationships and guy relationships, and it's just very well done.
Even though there's a lot that you have to suspend your
you
mind
do.
for, because it's just, that could never happen, this could never happen.
This isn't a spoiler alert, but he's robbing houses. He's robbing their houses.
Their friends.
Yeah. Okay. And he's a former Wall Street guy.
Yeah.
Who was back in business thanks to James Marsden, and then he got some integrity finally, or he reached down for his integrity and said, no, I can't do this anymore, which leads to chaos, upheaval.
But it's definitely worth watching.
No, it was just great. But finally, I'm just trying to get through a treadmill, and I'm flipping around on all the cables, and I land on Casino, which I liked when I saw it in the theater in 1995, but I've seen bits and pieces when I'm flipping around, but I'd never watched it from the start. And now 1995, so we're 30 years later, over 31. Okay, so my sensibilities change, and I've grown up some, and I view it differently, and I started watching it, and I couldn't stop. And I finished my hour, and then I told you, I just got to watch the end of it, because it's got me. And the end is actually hard to watch, because it's very depressing.
Sharon Stone is great.
Hey, well, she won the Golden Globe Best Female Actor.
And De Niro was...
Listen, she's 37, so she's at her peak in this. And obviously, De Niro, Scorsese is... Talk about dynamic duo, but if you throw Pesci in, and my conclusion was, at the end of it was, it's the best gangster film ever, and it's beyond The Godfather to me, because it's more interesting than The Godfather. It's more captivating. It's more edge of seat. The Godfather can get, it's a little slow.
Well, it's more tedious. The Godfather delves into this whole little world of family.
From Italy, and you go back to Italy and all that.
Different feeling.
Yeah, these are gangsters. I think they're from Kansas City, but it's Rothstein is Ace, who's De Niro.
Right.
And then Pesci is his longtime childhood best buddy who comes in, and he is the all-time psycho sidekick who decides he's going to take over Las Vegas.
It's just about the building of Las Vegas,
It is about the building of Las Vegas.
Making it the capital of gambling.
They did. And they milked it for all it was worth, and they tried to beat the system there, which was the old school, old-time cowboy system of the locals who were still trying to maintain control. My friend from Vanderbilt, John Bloom, is in it. He became Joe Bob Briggs, but he has a very pivotal role, because he's the boob working in the casino, and De Niro fires him. Yeah. And he says, you're going to pay for this, because his father-in-law runs the whatever, he's one of the county commissioners or something, and they realize that De Niro doesn't have a legit license, so they try to shut him down. And anyway,
It's
the
powerful movie.
acting in it, and the pace of it, and the music of it, because
Yeah,
they
the
use
music
all
is
the
great.
60s
Yeah.
stuff from Rolling Stones to whatever. Just name a great
Yeah.
song from the 60s, and it's the backdrop
Yeah,
of this
no,
movie
it's-
and the driving force of this movie. And I just thought it was a spectacular epic
It's incredible.
that's very watchable, and she is just
Oh, first of all, she looks incredible.
she's just
She had to be
dynamite.
one of the sexiest women.
and she pulls off the fact that she's a call girl. You know, she's
Right.
she's a hooker in Las Vegas, but a real she's a con artist,
Well, she's
operator.
shrewd.
She's the shrewdest operator, so she's making good money on her own. And all of a sudden, he sees her one night in the casino throw a fit over one of her whales that she's hooked. And he won't give her a cut of the action that she has helped him win that night. And she starts throwing his chips because she's pretty psycho.
Yeah, she
And-
is.
And this great businessman, this Rothstein character, and I love the fact it's narrated by him and Pesci. They just narrate back and
Yeah.
forth, and he falls in love with her on first sight,
Right.
and he knows it's wrong, and he knows he's going to pay for it, and he proposes marriage.
Right.
Anyway, it is riveting to the end,
It is.
and it has
It is.
Scorsese is at his best. They're all at their best in this, and Joe Pesci is the greatest gangster psycho there ever was.
Oh, he's
and
good.
I know Goodfellas was Goodfellas, and all the Godfathers 1 and 2 especially were great, but this is better. This is a cut above it.
Good.
Man, and the writing by Pileggi and Scorsese is spectacular. That's just
I have
me.
to shut
My
the air
2 cents.
conditioning off because
Oh, she's
I'm
gonna- she's
frozen.
freezing.
I'm frozen, so I'll be
It's
right
hot
back.
here in LA. I turn the air conditioner on because I get hot.
Well,
Next question comes from Paul from Cincinnati. Robert Pattinson spoke out against those that were critical of his body in Batman, with those critics saying he wasn't jacked enough. With you both being fitness junkies, should how actors' physiques, aka how jacked they are, be considered when you're casting a superhero? So here comes Batman Part 2.
I thought he looked pretty good in
Yeah.
Batman.
Okay.
And then in Batman 2, they
Yeah.
showed some of his clips.
Yeah.
He looks amazing. I mean, you can't have a very overweight
He has defended
Batman.
himself, and he said we were shooting that all at night, and he
Yeah.
was getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning and working out.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do? But you can't, if it's just a regular role,
Yeah.
and you don't have to be so buff for it, but if it's a Superman or superhero,
Yeah.
then unfortunately you have to look larger than life in body, right? That's why these actors, Bridget Jones, she gained all the weight.
She did.
And Christian Bale lost all the weight for that
did.
movie, the
Mhm.
Sky, what is it, Red Sky?
Yeah,
That
I
war
know.
movie.
Yeah, the war movie. We saw it.
De Niro, Raging Bull.
Yep. I do think that for a superhero movie, especially if you're playing Superman, I guess you can put body parts under the costume to buff you out. But
Yeah.
I do think you have a responsibility to try to get. You don't have to be ripped, or jacked, but you need to have some definition.
I would rather have somebody work out rather than just pump up with steroids.
That's a good point.
Because I'd rather have somebody look more real than when you're steroided up, you look larger than life, but
Like Reacher.
Well, I was just thinking of him,
Yeah,
Jack Reacher.
yeah.
I mean,
And we never can remember his name.
Alan
because-
Richson.
Richson, yeah.
His body looks just I don't know. I
It
guess
doesn't look real.
no, and it makes his head really small,
But
and
I'm
his
going
body is
to
gigantic.
imagine that he didn't do that all by himself.
You think that there's some steroids
I
somewhere?
think you would have to, because nobody ever naturally looks like that.
You can't look
No
like that.
human looks like that.
Schwarzenegger didn't look
No.
like that when he was pumping iron.
Well,
I mean,
but that's,
pumping iron, he looked like that,
but
but
that's
that
steroid
was steroid.
culture.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I'm sure through the Rambos or even the Rockies,
Stallone
that
must
Stallone
have.
would have resorted to
Yeah.
some of that.
It's hard to get just that way from working out.
Yeah, it is. But I understand you can't be a wimpy Bruce Wayne. You
No,
can't
I mean,
look
you
wimpy.
can't
You
look
can't
like
look
you're
skinny, slender, you know.
Sand kicked in your face
No.
at the beach kind of
You
thing.
can't. Yeah. I got it. He has enough star power. He can just pull it off. Enough
Yeah, I
presence,
like
but,
Robert Pattinson.
But now they're doing Batman Part 2, and he says he's
Yeah.
more committed than ever to doing it. The first one came out, obviously,
A while back.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
This is Lauren from Tempe, as in Arizona. Michelle Obama recently praised Dave Chappelle, saying he's, quote, one of the smartest people on the planet, given Chappelle's history of homophobic, transphobic jokes, okay, or have a problem with the former First Lady praising this comedian so publicly.
Well, I have a problem with anybody who does jokes, homophobic, transgender, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I have a problem with people that do that to begin with, because I find that disgusting. So I don't know how she could praise him and saying that he's the smartest guy on the planet.
You know,
I mean, he's talented, but not.
this
I
gave
don't
me
like people
pause and
ripping
made me
people
think
like
about
that.
it.
So
And maybe this is just because I'm white and I don't get it, but I never thought Chappelle was all that funny. I understand where Michelle Obama's coming from, that he has a certain raw genius about him. I get that.
not
But-
any better than Eddie Murphy.
Well, and speaking of, so I started thinking about Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock. They're all extremely funny to me, and I could watch it right now and just their best
Incredible.
performances, their best stand-up. So we just happened, because I was watching Eddie Murphy Raw the other night,
Yeah.
and I'm laughing and laughing
He's so amazing.
and laughing, and I know the routines and I know the bits, and they're just funny to me.
He is so talented.
And I don't know. Again, this is white guy.
But
point
I
of
don't know.
view,
I'm
but-
white. I don't.
Okay.
I'm not black. I'm white, but I still don't
But
see it as a white-black thing. I just think he's funny.
okay,
His
but
jokes
Eddie
are funny.
Murphy was making fun of white people.
Yeah, but I
and-
don't find that. I'm not offended by it
Okay.
because it's true. Some of the stuff he was saying is true.
Yeah,
But he makes fun of the black people too.
he does. But Chappelle has like a bitter edge.
Yeah.
To
No,
him,
he doesn't have. He has more
where
anger.
He just makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, it's more angry, and I get it, because I don't like a lot of white people. There are a lot I don't like, and I
Right.
don't like the history of race relations in this country. And we can go on and on about that. I've made myself very publicly clear
I know.
about that in the past. But there's just something about Chappelle where I just, after a while, I'm just cringing like,
No, I don't
okay,
find it funny.
okay, you got me. You got
Yeah.
me.
I don't find it funny.
Yeah, and yet
Chris Rock. Yeah.
Chappelle he's fearless. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
And remember Saturday Night Live? He
Yeah.
rehearsed it one way, and then the live
Yeah.
performance, he did it another way. Okay? And he got away with it. And he
Right.
said what he wanted to say. God bless him. But, man, Pryor and Eddie Murphy and Chris Rock, they're constantly making fun of white people, but it's with a different point of view.
I'm never
to me.
offended by it
Yeah.
because I know it's true. Some of what
It's always
they
true.
do is say
Yeah.
it's true. But it
I
to
mean,
me,
Eddie Murphy makes fun of white people
Yeah,
dancing
but-
and Raw, and it's just funny because it's so correct.
but I love Don Rickles, and if
Yeah.
you ever saw Don Rickles in concert or on a
Mm-hmm.
whatever,
Yeah.
Don ridiculed every single person that
Everybody.
existed. He didn't care what color they were, what race, what
didn't care.
sex.
No.
He just ripped them all,
Religion. He didn't
and
know.
it was funny.
It was funny. I would agree.
You know, sometimes you gotta laugh, but not the way Chappelle does it is not funny. It's more kind of, I don't know, makes you
I don't know,
sick.
there's something about it where it's not all that enlightening or entertaining at all
No.
for me. And I'm very open-minded to criticizing white people, but whatever. I get it. And she's not the first lady anymore, and she has certainly a right to her opinion.
She likes him, good.
And good for her.
And there are more people that like him, I'm sure, not just her.
Yeah. Okay. This is Abel from Pittsburgh. He says, Bad Bunny is voicing a character in Toy Story 5. I get you're not a fan of his music. Well, not,
I don't hate him, I
don't
just
hate
am
it.
not into his
But
music.
Do you at least accept just how popular and influential he is? Yes, we do.
Yes.
Or do you still think he's just a trend? No, he's not
I think
a
he's a
trend.
great actor.
He's great, and we made that.
He's really a
very
good actor.
clear.
I think his voice, he'll be good in Toy Story.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be very good because he took over.
He was great in that Gilmore, Happy Gilmore.
God, he stole it.
He was
That's
so
what we said.
funny.
He's so good. He's good on Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah, he was great.
This is Mia from Burlington, Vermont.
Oh, I love Burlington,
I once
Vermont.
flew through Burlington, Vermont.
I'm a Vermonter.
She is.
Grew up there in the
Tickets for
summers.
The Odyssey, it's going to be an epic, became available on AMC.com, and the wait time to purchase them was over 1 hour. If you were to wait an hour for anything, what would it be? And saying, I wouldn't wait an hour for anything is an unacceptable answer.
Mine, I would wait an hour. Steve Perry.
She just loves Steve Perry. She
Singing.
won't give it up.
No, I will not give Steve Perry up.
No?
I would wait an hour. He doesn't even have to go back with Journey. Just Steve Perry at, anywhere, any hall, singing, again, by himself. I would wait an hour online to get tickets.
Okay.
And Sinatra, of course, but that's not ever gonna happen again. Over to you.
Well, there are a lot of games from my past that I would have waited an hour to have a ticket to that game for.
Michael Jordan, Last Dance.
Yeah, but I don't know it before
yeah.
before it happens.
No.
So it's
You'd
hard
have to
for
go
me to
now.
say.
What would you want
Yes. There was a great game between the Cowboys and the 49ers that was the NFC Championship game in 1994, and it became Deion Sanders versus Michael Irvin because the Cowboys fell way behind and had to pass every down.
now? Was that the one you talked to Julian Edelman about? No.
No, that was another,
Oh,
that was from
okay.
1981 year, so
Okay.
that was 13 years before, but
Before.
a good memory. It
Yeah.
was still at Candlestick Park.
Okay.
It was the catch game that I talked to Julian about. But yeah, that's another one. If I could just buy a ticket to either one of those two games, but I would have to know that was going to happen. and I
Right. So
wouldn't
we have
know.
to
Okay,
bring
so
it
that-
back to real world.
I just don't know. If there's,
I know who
there's
you would like to
anything-
see. Jimmy Webb,
Okay, but
Elton John. Well, you
doing
saw it,
what?
Elton John.
We saw it, Elton John. I wouldn't wait an hour. But we've stood, as you say, online. I say
We've
in
stood
line.
online for movies for an hour in the
We
city.
have done it.
42nd Street movie.
We've done it for a James Bond
Oh my
opening.
God. We did it at the what was the one that closed on 54th? What was the name of that theater? The Ziegfeld.
The Ziegfeld.
Didn't we wait to see Indiana Jones?
I only
pretty
remember
sure.
James Bond.
I used to wait all the time at the theater across from Bloomingdale's on 59th and 3rd.
You know,
Always the line would be around the block. That was like normal.
it was. So we used to do that. I don't know. Now we're not going to the theater very much, which is why we like this giant screen up here.
Well, if
and
I
you
could
can
move
just-
Broadway here, I would.
Yeah.
But definitely Steve Perry for me. I would wait an hour.
Yeah.
And
But-
the Eagles. 'Cause
But
I love the
I'm
Eagles.
excited about this Christopher Nolan production because everybody's in it. Matt Damon and Zendaya and Pattinson is in it. Anne Hathaway.
I don't think I would wait
Travis
an hour
Scott,
to get tickets
Charlize
for
Theron.
this, though.
But it's the the Odyssey. That's the Homer epic. Although nobody even knows whether he actually wrote it or not. But we think we got the Iliad and then the Odyssey.
Yeah.
And it's an epic tale, and I'm excited to see what Christopher Nolan will do with it, with a little help from CGI.
I mean, that I would wait a line. A movie
Yeah, I
theater
would
line.
wait in
Definitely.
line to see
I
that.
would wait in line to see that.
But it's not that if you have a 1 hour wait for a ticket that you really want and you're sitting at your desk at home or
Well, you have to keep on, I'm sure, refreshing that you don't lose your spot or whatever.
I don't know what you do, but can't you kind of do something else while
Well,
you're waiting?
yeah,
Okay. You could eat dinner
but
while
I
you're
still
waiting.
would.
I don't know.
I don't know. So you don't have a music, anybody in the music world?
Right now? No.
Wow.
I mean, I still love the Rolling Stones, and I still think they're
Well, they would be worth waiting
They're
an
a
hour to get a
classic
ticket
act.
for. My
and
God.
I don't think they're too old.
I
And
would wait
but
for
I've
Paul
already seen
McCartney.
them 3 times. And it's been a while since I saw them, but we've watched their concert documentaries where and Scorsese did it and
Yeah.
but you want to talk about iconic, and they can still do it. They've lost their drummer, obviously, but still.
I would do Paul McCartney,
Yeah, you would, more than I would.
definitely.
Yeah.
But Steve Perry wins.
If I could watch Paul McCartney with the Beatles, even at their ages, I would do it
I would
again,
do Paul
but we've lost
McCartney
2
and Ringo
of those.
together for an hour.
Would you?
For
Okay.
sure. Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
interesting. So that is it for round 74. We will see you next week if, in fact, we're
We're gonna be
still
speaking.
speaking.
And Hazel will join in. Peace
Bye,
out.
Hazel.
Thanks for watching.